Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers M Bison, and I still haven't found any of these figures in the stores, ever, not a single one. I have to keep waiting for Big Bad Toy Store. They should be in stock soon at Big Bad Toy Store though, so if you are looking for these guys and haven't found them yet, there is a link in the description below. Get your pre-orders in, make sure you have them. And now you don't have to worry about the hunt. I got this from a viewer. He sent it to me because I couldn't find any. And so that's very nice of him. He didn't want me to shout him out specifically though, so I won't. But yeah, I have all these on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. Hopefully they come in soon. Again, if you guys want those, check those out in the link in the description below. Alright, so M Bison, it looks pretty darn good. I have to say it looks better in person than it did in the photos, which is a good thing. And I think it's a solid release. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Before we look at the figure, I do want to give you a quick look at my package. As usual, it is good packaging from Jada. I love the arcade style, nice and colorful, nice and vibrant. Bison has the new style packaging where it's just him on the back. All of the original releases also got new packaging, by the way. They are slightly different. I don't know if I need to make a video about that. Chun-Li has some color changes, things like that. But if you see just one person on the back, it's the newer version of the older guys. I think Fei Long's pants are maybe slightly different colored. I'm not sure. I don't have him yet. My brother found one for me. Anyway, yeah, if it has one guy on the back, it's a new, I believe it's a whole new factory who's producing these, and they're slightly different. I think, though, Ryu is mostly the same. Anyway, he's got the new packaging. I don't think there's a version of him where you get all three. Okay, so decent packaging. Let's look at the figure. Let's do height first. Let's get that out of the way so I don't forget. He stands roughly 16 centimeters. That's including his hat. And it sticks up just a bit more than that too, but right about 16. That's going to be 6 1/4. That seems kind of small. Let's see how he is about against Ryu. He should be about a half a head taller than Ryu. That's pretty darn close to accurate scaling. I'd say he could be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'd want him just a touch taller than that, but that's not bad. That's pretty close. And let's do some comparisons here. Here he is up against the Marvel Legends Darwin. Yeah, that's alright. I think Bison should be a touch bigger. That would help. Here he is up against a McFarlane Batman. Definitely out of scale. And then we're not even close here with Marvel Select. So it's a good enough scale. I think a touch more size would have helped, but it's not too bad. I wonder maybe you could extend his torso some. I wouldn't really do that though, I don't think, because his arms fall just about right. You might be able to squeak something out if you're going to customize him, but I'd say it's not necessary. He looks pretty good. Alright, let's do a quick question of the day. How are you guys feeling about this Jada line as it continues? Are you still in? Are you still on board? Are you not liking something? What are your thoughts overall? I have no idea if they watch my videos, but it's not going to hurt to let our thoughts be known. Maybe they do. It wouldn't hurt. Alright, for me, the only thing that's really bugging me a little bit, it's not a lot, is the faces. I want the faces to be a little bit more sculpted. They're very soft sculpts, and for Bison, for instance, he doesn't have that really menacing look. Like, where's the package? Well, I'll use this head as an example. So we have that and this. These are like cartoon versions of what we see in the game. They're way less angular, way less detailed, way less sculpted, and then his chin butt is nuts. And then he has, like, the cheekbones aren't there. It's just not quite there. I want the faces to be a little bit better. And maybe that'll have to wait until they do, like, a round 2 of all of these guys, different versions or something, so that they maintain consistency. I don't know. Alright, so let's dive into this. Aesthetically, there's shading on him, I think. Yeah, it's there. It's just way subtle. It's very, very subtle. And I do think the newer versions of these guys, for instance, I think their shading is a little bit more subtle also. So it's not terrible. I would like to see more shading. I would like to see a little more saturation in the red, but it's not bad. The paint job is clean for the blue going down the center. No issues there, really. The belt's alright. Paint job on the face is not bad. There's a little bit of shading around the eyes, and then the eyes are there again. It's just super basic looking. But it's not bad. The hat looks pretty clean. No huge issues there. We'll talk about the other head in a second. The gauntlets on the arms are nice and silver. I like that. Paint could be a little bit cleaner on those edges, but that's okay. Same thing with the boots, nice and shiny. Looks good. I'll take it. There's a scuff on this boot, not a huge deal. Yeah, I'd like to see the shading be a little bit better. And then as far as Bison's sculpt, it's... I'm not loving it. I don't know about the way they did the biceps. They're a little bit... They kind of look like prunes. He doesn't quite have the right shapes going on. And then having the ribs pop out over here is kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be the serratus muscles, but they don't look quite right. And being there, I don't know. His sculpt is not the best. I think it's kind of in line with Ryu's shirtless sculpt. And then we have better sculpts like for Fei Long and things. Yeah, it's not bad, but I definitely think he could have a little bit of a tightened up sculpt here. But it's okay. I like the way they did the cape. The material's decent. It does have that greenish gray look to it. I'm assuming that's intentional. I couldn't find a picture of him with his cape quickly in the game because everybody's always using different colors. And you only, for whatever reason, I think he only has his cape when you fight against him in arcade mode. And for whatever reason, every time I found a video of somebody fighting him, he was wearing his like P2 or something color. So I don't know. But either way, it's black on the inside, this color on the outside. I think it looks good. I like the material because they did a good job stitching it and wiring it. The wiring is nice. That's awesome. This material is not a good choice if it's a loose cape, but in this case, it works. I think it looks alright, and then it is wired again. It does hold dust though, so you're gonna have to keep dealing with that. But yeah, I think it looks overall pretty good. Not perfect, but again, $25. Is that what they cost? Yeah, I think they're 25 bucks. Yeah, right? Whatever. Even if it's a little bit less, that's even better. Easily worth the money. It looks pretty darn good overall, not perfect. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. Definitely could be tightened up a little bit here and there, but looks solid. I would say my biggest gripe, honestly, is this. Having the hands or the wrist part stick down so far from the gauntlet, it makes the gauntlets look wimpy. It makes his arms look weird. So I don't care for that. But yeah, still obviously a really good figure. We know they make solid stuff. So we can be a little bit more nitpicky now as we're going because they've shown that they are very good. Okay, let's talk about accessories. You already saw the neutral head that comes on in the package. Then I also already showed you the angry head. I do not like this angry head. The mouth is way too exaggerated in that upside down smile and the frown he's making. I don't like that they added the yellow dots in the eyes. I see that they were going for this look. Again, I'll bring it back up. They're going for this look here. You can see the yellow dots are slightly centered or like kind of cross-eyed looking, but on the head itself, it looks not right at all. And the hat's, it's just not right. Like, not even close, honestly. It's not a good head sculpt. I think it's probably the worst one they've done, honestly. So that's kind of a bummer. For hands, you get the 2 fist hands, then you get 2 open hands. That's all right. You do get the purple fireball. Should it be blue? Should it be purple? I've always thought Bison was purple. Yeah, I think purple's right. I don't know, you guys can let me know. I'm not that overly concerned with it personally, but it's a nice fireball for his hand, by the way. It's for a punch. And then we do get the alternate shoulder pads, which I really like. I like the way these shoulder pads are connected. They move around as you need them to for posing. That's essential. That's good. But then you can also just pop off the cape. Boop. Cape is gone. And then you have these shoulder pads. No, we're not done. Then you have these shoulder pads, which pop on. I know my right and my left, I promise. There we go. Can I get it on? There we go. Which pop on right there, so you can have his capeless look, which is actually the look you're going to see, like I said, most of the time in the game. But obviously capes are cool. So you have that. But then you have those. So you have the different shoulder pads. That's pretty good. So accessory-wise, other than the ugly head, which is a problem, I would say 9.5 out of 10. It's awesome. But the ugly head is a problem. So I'm just going to say 8. That alternate head is rough. Really, really rough. Okay, so let's talk about the well, I guess you could count the cape as an accessory too, but still, that alternate head is a problem. Alright, let's talk about the articulation. We have double ball pegs going on, which means it's all you could want out of neck articulation if you're being reasonable at all. Look at that. No effort at all. Ball pegs in the top of the neck, at the bottom of the neck. You can just move his head around however you like. Love it. Shoulder pads, like I mentioned. We have the butterfly joint in here, but then we also have the shoulder pad that rotates around. It has basically just a little disc in there between the shoulder and the butterfly that lets it move around on that shoulder peg. So that's good. This popped off too easily. I don't know if that's always going to be the case or if it's just the way I grabbed it. But there, I think it's probably on now. Yeah, I didn't snap it all the way. I don't know. Either way, it's not falling off now, so that's good. So yeah, I really love that they made the shoulder pads posable. They move with the shoulder. I love it. Great job. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see about the shoulders themselves. Just better than horizontal, so that is nice. Of course, you're going to get your full rotation, give or take. Shoulder pads are still connected there, though, so you'll be fine. That's perfectly reasonable. Bicep swivel, no problem. Double jointed elbow, pretty good. Yeah, that's solid. Elbows are a little dark compared to this part, so that's an insert molding issue. This is hard plastic, this is soft plastic. That's the thing. Not super noticeable, but it is there. Then again with the wrists, you have the ball hinge, which is fine. That's helpful for posing, but I think they could have brought those gauntlets out a little bit farther. Made them a little bigger, made them a separate piece. That would have really helped. I don't like having that wrist nubbin showing. It just makes him look kind of wimpy. Alright, for the torso, he leans back and forward pretty well. Not great, but that's solid. Side to side is okay. Minimal rotation on the top joint. On the bottom joint, you get more leaning forward and back. That's where you're going to get your rotation and even more leaning. So yeah, it's not perfect, but you should be able to get him doing whatever things you need him to do. There you go. That's a super pose right there. Yeah, the torso crunches pretty well. I like it. Skirt is a soft piece. It feels like it's connected probably to this piece right here, to his crotch, which is fine. The reds match pretty well. Going out to the side, we get almost full-on splits. They're basically there, so that's really good. And then going forward, love the plastic they use on here. It's nice. Basically horizontal. You get a little bit going back, that's fine. Normal thigh swivel, that's in there. Double jointed knee for chunky legs like that, it works well. Doesn't look the best down here, but don't look at that part and do it like this and you'll be okay. So yeah, that's fine. And then for the ankles, the feet go all the way back and pretty far forward. This is a soft piece on here. This tarsal plate right there, that works nicely. And then you get a decent ankle rocker. So yeah, his articulation is solid. He's probably not the most posable figure in the world. I'd say Fei Long still beats him, or Chun-Li, or probably even Ryu and Ken, but it's not bad at all. He does have a little bit of extra chunk to him. Probably not actually enough compared to the game. In the game, he's got a narrower waist and a much broader chest, but it's solid. I think their figures are kind of like, not exactly from the game they say they're from. They're kind of like a mix of different versions, sort of. But yeah, it's perfectly fine. Articulation, I'll give it an 8. It works pretty well. There's not much that's really needing improvement. So yeah, 8. Alright, time for the final verdict on this guy. It's another welcomed addition to the line. Is it the best figure in the line? Probably not. Honestly, I don't have him yet, but I think Dhalsim is probably going to take that spot. Otherwise, I would say Fei Long or maybe Chun-Li. But yeah, I mean, it's a really strong line, so at this point, we're comparing against really good figures. If I was comparing him against this, well then obviously it's a no contest. It's not even close. But this line is like top tier at the moment, so they created their own harder competition. So yeah, really, really good release. I'm going to give it an overall rating of, for the price point, 9 out of 10. Excellent, excellent release. Not absolutely perfect. These are reviews. I have to talk about the good and the bad. But really, there's not a better line out there as far as I can tell right now as far as value per dollar. Really great line, and this is a great addition to it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.